The Fallout 76 beta started with a bang last night, and I had a fun full 4 hours. I saw people have differing responses, some more excited, some still very skeptical, but this morning I was met with incredibly bad news. I thought it was odd that after last night's session wrapped, they didn't announce today's session. They didn't announce any session, and then this morning around noon Eastern they posted about the next Fallout 76 beta slot, and it's not until Saturday, October 27th for only 2 hours. Are you kidding me? There were plenty of players that were not able to participate in last night's test given time zones, locations, work, school, etc. And I think a lot of us were under the impression that this thing was going to run every day, at least this week, where Xbox owners got early access. And definitely make sure to let me know how you're feeling in the comments below. Are you frustrated by this? Does it bum you out? Were you expecting a more plentiful and full beta period? Or did you know it was going to be this scattered and this doesn't catch you off guard at all? I'd love to hear how you're all feeling after learning that we've got a big break and only a 2-hour session this weekend. Now, we're not entitled to anything. I understand this is a beta and they are just doing it to test. You know, the full game isn't out until November. It's okay. But I do think it's quite the bummer, and I've seen people super upset all over Twitter, and I feel ya. It is frustrating because I fully expected to be playing more Fallout today. In fact, I had a whole lineup of places I wanted to go, things I wanted to do, and we've already pre-ordered, so this isn't a free beta. We've already pre-ordered and paid for the game. The fact that they announced the progress would be carrying over, super freaking cool, right? You can get in on the beta and then get going once the real, quote, game comes out with your continued progress. And it's all the real game because they announced that the beta would include the full game, the full map, which it does. And they did state that it wouldn't be up 24/7. There would be 4 to 8 hour slots. But man, a 4-day wait and then we only get a 2-hour slot from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday? That's definitely sucky. And I'm still personally very high on the game. I thought it ran really well last night. There weren't hardly any issues or errors. I had a double head pop-off bug that was actually kind of cool where I knocked a head off, decapitated the Scorch, and his head still stayed on. And then I did have one server disconnect where my controllers froze up and it reset my progress by about 5 minutes. But other than that, it worked really well. And I was so excited to play more. I want to dive into what they specifically said about the beta beforehand, because this will kind of be, to me, a big deciding factor for myself and a lot of fans. Like, how well do we think they conveyed this? Again, it is a beta. The goal is to test things. I understand that. We're not entitled to anything here. They're just providing some early access to test their servers and get us ready for the November 14th launch. But I'm still really, really sad that I can't play more. If you go to the Fallout 76 beta FAQ, it says, how long will the beta be available? And I'm going to read this to you verbatim. During the beta, one of our primary goals is to stress test and break the game. As such, the servers will not be running 24/7. Instead, they'll be online during targeted timeframes so we can get as many people as possible playing at the same time. That makes perfect sense. Okay. So they say it won't be running 24/7. But again, they announced that the Xbox One beta would start on the 23rd, the PS4 and PC betas on the 30th, and run almost up to launch, so it seems like you'd be getting a lot of slots, right? Well, they continue. On any given day, the game might be up for anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. Focusing as many players as we can into these windows is our primary objective. Then we'll fix what we need to fix and do it again and again from the start of beta until a few days before launch. We'll give you as much heads up as possible because we need you to log in during these times and play the game. That is where I start to take some issue, because they're telling us that it'll be 4 to 8 hours. We're now getting a 2-hour slot. They're telling us that they're going to do it again and again from the start of beta until a few days before launch. Now, it doesn't specifically say every day. It says on any given day. But I would have expected, at least early on, for them to drop this thing, a 4 to 8 hour slot on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and so on and so forth. Maybe taking a break sometime or getting some very specific slots for the weekend. They did say 4 to 8 hours, and maybe you could argue that they didn't know exactly how this was going to work. Betas are always a work in progress, and you kind of don't plan, you can't plan for exactly how it works, what's breaking, what's not working, how long it takes to fix. I understand that. But it says we'll give you as much heads up as possible, and there was very little heads up even for that first 4-hour slot. A lot of people just thought, hey, it's the 23rd, the game will be ready to go. No, it's not ready until 7 p.m. Eastern. And then people got home late or in other time zones or woke up over in Europe and were ready to play, and they can't. So I understand that this wasn't a huge investment. It was a pre-order of a game, and I understand that it's just to test the servers. But I do think that they did a kind of jumbly and not so great job at conveying exactly what this was. I think better communication would alleviate a lot of the frustration right now. And they say they'll keep us posted and try to give as much heads up as possible. I mean, they are now, because we know that Saturday you have 2 hours, so you better clear your calendar 5 to 7 p.m. But I feel like this wasn't laid out in advance, and I feel like for myself, as a very hardcore gamer who follows these things extensively, I sure thought it was going to be every day. And I think for people who aren't as crazy about keeping up with the times and the Twitter feeds, they probably felt just the same, that it was going to be almost every day and for 4 to 8 hours. So it's frustrating. And while I do understand that the game is not out for a long time, it does say Fallout 76 Xbox One beta available now on their Twitter header picture. And you can't play it now. You can't play it till Saturday. If you go pre-order the game right now and are excited and come home, you won't be able to access it until Saturday for 2 hours. And then what after that? Because remember, this early access beta period lasted for a week. Does that mean that on October 30th, we start getting more regular betas? Or is it going to be every few days all the way up until launch? I'm not sure exactly how they plan to handle this. And I would say if it was a free beta, then I would feel a lot differently. But because all of us participating have pre-ordered, we've paid our money. They've got us. So it's not like they're giving away the game for free. And I've heard some people say, well, hey, they can't show off the whole game, in the beta. They got to say, we've already paid, man. And it is the full game. It's just very stilted and it's very spread out. And to me, as a gamer and as someone who thinks from a review perspective, it's a very negative way to experience the game, if I'm honest. Doing 4 hours here, 2 hours there, and taking huge breaks messes with the continuity, takes your focus away, and I think is going to affect and impact how people review and regard this game when it does launch. You are going to have to wait, obviously, for the launch experience, the servers then. This will be a game that sees those review in progress type headers, and we don't get full scores probably for a bit because you need to see how it performs and how the whole multiplayer scene pans out. But content-wise, we can get a lot from this beta. And maybe that's part of the process, intentionally limiting the fact that you won't be able to get all the way through before the game comes out, so that you can't give it a full score, so that you can't assess the entirety of the package, and you need to play once they have things worked out. Maybe this is a calculated and crafted move, and I'm trying to think from Bethesda's perspective that maybe they want to make sure that you get in for a little bit, but then they polish and polish and polish so that the prime experience is the best one possible. And majority of your hours in Fallout 76 as an early adopter or as a reviewer are the best they can be. I just think it's frustrating that the expectation was we could play a bunch of this, we could carry over our character, and I almost wish at this point that they didn't allow you to carry over progress. Yes, repetition is really annoying, especially for me. I'm not someone who's big on redoing things, but the fact that now my character is taking a nap, a 4-day nap, my character is on hiatus, it feels weird. I almost, at this point, wish that they would have not allowed carryover. So I was like, okay, it's just a throwaway, it's a few hours, it's okay, I'll get back in, I got my fill and I'm good to go. But I'm eagerly awaiting the next portion of the beta test because I want to get in and play more. I want to progress. I got to Camden Park, I want to get beyond that. I got to almost level 10, I want to take the time to get to 20, and I want to see, and I'm not going to be able to do that in 2 hours. And so it seems like this is going to be a very elongated and very slow process of progress as we push towards November launch. How do you guys feel about it? Are you bummed? Are you okay? It's a beta. It is just a test period, and they did state that the purpose of this is to push the servers and make sure that they can fine-tune and get ready. But they also said that it would be up for 4 to 8 hours, and they'll do it again and again, and we'll give you as much heads up as possible. And perhaps once they launch the PC and PS4 betas, they find more stability, and they are able to hoist the servers up for longer and keep things going at a more frequent and consistent pace, and maybe this is just an early issue. Or maybe they really do plan to just do a few of these beta tests and save most of it for mid-November. I would be super sad if that's the case. I understand it. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm not pissed off at Bethesda. I honestly really enjoyed the game. Contrary to a lot of things I see on Twitter, I find it really fun. I had fun multiplayer and solo. I think it's super cool, and I just want to explore the entirety of West Virginia. But I can't say that, my excitement has been a little bit crushed because now I have to wait till Saturday, and I plan on playing this all day today or at the hours that they gave me, and I can't. So how do you guys feel? how was your time with the beta? Did you expect it to be this scattered, or were you thinking it would be a beta that just kind of went all the way up till launch in these different slots? Maybe a morning slot one day, an afternoon another. That's sure what I felt and expected, and the fact that they say the beta is available now and you can pre-order and get access, it's a little bit weird. It's not intentionally misleading, but it does kind of cause quite a bit of confusion. Let me know your take in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and get sort of the community perspective from those of you who have played or maybe were waiting to play or wanting to pick up a pre-order for the weekend. You got 2 hours on Saturday. I guess a golf clap for that. But no, this is no ill will on the game as a whole, from a gameplay, from a fun perspective. It's just I want more, and the fact that it is good makes this even more of a bummer. So let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from Fallout 76. I've got you covered with content. As soon as the beta is back up, I will be there and bringing you more videos, and I'll keep you posted if anything interesting develops in the meantime from Bethesda or how they plan to handle these tests, and hopefully they do give us more heads up so we can be ready. Thanks again, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Drink some hot chocolate, and until next time, we will see you all later.